Yes, so DevBox is finally out of private preview and into public preview, which means that I get to toy around with it, finally. I've been waiting on that. So in this video, let's do it a little bit different. Usually I go on and on about information and limitations and all that before I show you stuff. I want to jump right in. So let's just do that. So like I said, the announcement was made today and I've yet to go through all the information about this, but scanning through the announcement blog here, one thing really caught my eye because the number one question I was getting about the DevBox is cost. And as we can see, it's a consumption-based compute and storage model, which is kind of cool, but because that means it's much more flexible than, for example, Windows 365, which is license-based. And that's been one of the main things that made me prefer Azure Virtual Desktop over Windows 365 because I like the flexibility that a consumption-based model gives. So given that it's consumption-based compute and storage, it means that you will always pay for storage because the disks are always there, but you can shut down the dev boxes in order to save on consumption, meaning a lower cost for your environment. And it's also stated here that you can have automated schedule to warm up the dev boxes at the start of the day, which is cool because that means that you can automate saving money on the consumption part, which is neat. And it's also stated that hibernation would be coming in a couple of weeks, which means that you can resume whatever state you were in a lot more faster because a cold start does take some time. I would guess that a minute or two. And that's not really awesome in terms of, getting to start your day with a logon that takes forever. And one final neat thing from this announcement blog is during this public preview, organizations get the first 15 hours of the DevBox 8 vCPU and 32GB memory SKU for free every month. And you also get the first 365 hours of DevBox storage, which means that for 15 hours, DevBox is completely free. Neat, huh? But I really wanted to, get started with this service. So let's see, visit the DevBox page. That's aka.ms/devbox. So let's just click that and on DevBox Dev Center. So I guess that's the first step, is to create a Dev Center. So let's go through that. Select subscription, resource group. Let's create a new one actually. DevBox Demo RG. That's a beautiful name. Let's call this my first Dev Center. And for location here, I'm gonna go for the West Europe because I assume this is the same as for Windows 365 Azure Virtual Desktop, that this is where all the metadata is stored, not necessarily where your dev boxes or VMs are stored. But yeah, so let's review and create this. It seems to be, submitting deployment in progress. My assumption here is that the Dev Center is kind of a holding place for your projects and dev boxes and whatnot. So my assumption here is that this just shouldn't take too long, but we'll see. Success. All right, let's go to resource. Let's see, we should probably create a project, I guess. Let's do that. So again, subscription and resource group. Dev Center will be my first Dev Center, and this will be my first project. Review and create. All right, so that was a success too. So let's go to resource and DevBox pools. Guess that's the next step, huh? Add new name. This would be my first DevBox pool. DevBox definition. I don't have any definitions. Can I see all? All right, so I can create a DevBox definition from here. So that means I should probably go back to DevBox and into my first Dev Center, DevBox definitions, create my first definition. Image would be, let's do Windows 11 with Microsoft 365 apps. Image version latest. Compute would be... Well, let's see. Let's use the 8 vCPU 32 GB RAMs since that's free for 15 hours. Storage, I believe it was the 512 GB SSD, which was free during the public preview. So let's create that. And wait for a success, I hope. Right, so we have our DevBox definition. Let's go back to projects, I guess. My first project and DevBox pools. Now let's try again to add a new DevBox pool. This will be my first DevBox pool. Definition, my first definition, and network connection. Can I create a network connection from here? We cannot. All right, so let's go back. Go to network connections, create network connection. Let's do Azure AD join. Select subscription and resource group. Network connection details. Let's call this my first network connection. Select virtual network. Let's use this beautiful network. Not the gateway subnet, but this one. And review and create, I guess. Create. Hopefully this network connection is the last piece of the puzzle in order for us to create a DevBox pool and then create, you know, dev boxes. That deployment failed, so let's see why. Service encountered an internal error and was unable to complete requests. Retry operation later. Whatever issues was there last night, they have obviously gone away because now my network connections are getting past the deployment. All I really did now was for my first network connection, I would change the network settings here, triggering another deployment, I guess. And now it's running checks. Hopefully those checks will pass. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. So yeah, let's just hang around and see what happens. All right, so the checks are finished and no errors found. That probably means that we can continue our journey on deploying this DevBox setup. So let's go back to DevBox and my first, let's see, network connections. So I have my first network connection here, and this should still be good. Yeah, no errors found. Okay, back to DevBox, Dev Centers, my first Dev Center, and then into projects, my first project, and DevBox pools. Now let's see if we can create a DevBox pool. So we'll hit add new, call this my first DevBox pool. DevBox definition, my first definition, the network connection would be, hello? What would it be? Okay, that's odd. Let's backtrack for a bit and make sure that... All right, so on the Dev Center, I need to go to networking and then add network connection. And we see that my first network connection is now passed, which is awesome. So we'll hit add, so that the network connection is added to the Dev Center and tied to that, I guess. And then we wait for a bit more. There we go, added network connection successfully. Now let's try projects again. Go to my first project, DevBox pools, and hit add new. Still my first DevBox pool. DevBox definition would be my first definition. Network connection would be my first network connection. And the choice between local admin or standard users for the privileges that our users will have on their dev boxes. Let's go with standard user for now. And of course I have hybrid benefit licenses, of course. And hit create. So I guess now that we also have our DevBox pool, we could assign some access to this pool so that, you know, we can provision the dev boxes. So let's head on back to overview because I think I saw the edit access. Yes, click that, add role assignment, and that will be the DevBox user. Now let's find me here. Select, review and assign, and review and assign. Right? So now I, in theory, should have access to deploying dev boxes for myself. And I guess we open up a new tab, hit aka.ms/devbox portal, or just devbox.microsoft.com. So apparently I don't have any projects. I did assign myself just a few seconds ago, so it might be just some hiccups or latency on this. Let's try and refresh. Nope. So let's try refresh again. Yes, now I can start. So get started. My first dev box. And we see the project is my first project. DevBox pool is my first DevBox pool. And the size I'm able to provision is 8 vCPUs, 32 gigs of RAM, and 512 gigs of storage. It says that DevBox creation can take 30 to 90 minutes. I would guess that it would take a bit less, but let's click add and see how long it takes. Right, it's done. It took just over a half an hour, so let's try and log in. So I'll hit open RDP client. I have the desktop connection center thingy. So let's see. And give it my password. And I'm in. Neat. Cool. Now, this should all just work now, I guess. And looks to be okay. But let's just close that, because I want to see how this looks in the browser as well. So instead of opening in the RDP client, let's open in browser. And yes, connect, I guess. All the good things. And this here was actually kind of, and I must say this was all kind of pretty as opposed to what I've seen before. All right, cool. So this all just works now. Neat. So I guess now that my DevBox is created, I should also be able to manage it in the Azure portal. So let's see, on my project, let's edit the access and add another role assignment to me. And let's add the DevBox project admin to myself. See if that gives me some more tools to play around with. Review and assign. Thank you. And I don't know if I need to sign in and out. No. Now I can go into my first DevBox pool. And now I see my first DevBox, which is assigned to my user, and it's running. And I can stop and I can delete it. Cool. And I guess if we go into endpoint.microsoft.com, I should find my DevBox here as well. So devices, Windows, and yeah, here's my cloud PC or DevBox, call it what you want it. It's compliant and all that good jazz. Cool. All right, so let's recap what we've learned so far, I guess. From the announcement blogs, we know that the cost of the service is consumption-based, meaning that you can cut down on cost by powering off DevBoxes or cloud PCs and all that. We also learned from setting up the service that the hierarchy is Dev Center at the top, and then you have multiple or a single project within that Dev Center, and within the project is where you assign access to, for example, a project admin or a DevBox user. And within that project, you also create DevBox pools, one or multiple, which then have their DevBox definitions, and the DevBox pools is where your DevBoxes live. And yeah, I will certainly be exploring this more in the future, you know, creating custom images and all that jazz, because there's a lot to unpack here. This has been a pretty simple setup, and it didn't take all that long, actually. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed, and cheers.